Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, we're into almost the final 4 hours of this 24-hour race from Kyoto Grand Prix long. And it's been a long road, but I think it still feels like the quickest 24-hour race has actually gone. Maybe it's because it's the first one in years I haven't been involved in. I don't know how you guys feel about that so far.
It's gone past very quickly, and I'm actually surprisingly awake today.
I must say this more session is just flashing by, to be honest.
Gotta say, what I have to say personally, just blabbering on about things really helps really helps with staying awake.
What?
Yes.
Beans.
Potatoes.
Eggs.
Masturbation.
Must be hot.
Oh, don't bring up buddies, Jesus, no.
No, we've had Matthias Nielsen in our team.
We're in car 68 just now. It's Conquest Amateur. Guy to rejoining with a new car.
You're not having the best of luck, are they?
No, I think their second or third timer.
It's unfortunate for them. I mean, they had the pole position in hand by quite some margin, and they got turned right at the start.
Got turned at right at the start. Yeah, they were one of the first. They were one of the first lap victims from the M class. Yeah.
I think, well, that's put them way down the order, and they've never managed to recover from that.
Ironically, they're running right in front of their pro car, which has also not had the best days, and also had 2 timeouts. I remember when Conquest raced in MOE, and they had this skin where with no disco, no fails on the roof. It's ironically enough didn't time out in that race, if I'm not wrong. But slowly, soon approaching the 20-hour mark, and we're just over 4 hours to go here in the 24 hours of Kyoto GP. Or the way I described it before the race, the way too long race I didn't want to be a part of. Because it's way long, but it's actually seemed a lot shorter than I thought it would be. It's still too long.
Time is relative.
Time is relative boredom only.
Well, time's relative until you start.
Well, the Infinity Pro esports and amateur car going side by side there with the 55 car. Seems like on this lap 50 amateur car seems to want to make contact with everything.
Team Virus, which is in the pit lane.
Team Virus, Hutchin? What?
Team Virus is 58.
Ah, Vadovia is in pit lane, yes. I think my hearing's gone somewhere. Well, it's certainly not with me right now.
Going by the tracker, the gap between second and third does not seem much at all. It's what, 4 seconds now or something like that.
Second and third, yeah, they're definitely still pretty close together.
It's one of the most fascinating things with the 24-hour event is that cars can still be that close after doing so many laps.
I'm not even sure if it's that fascinating because it kind of happens in every single race. Every single 24-hour race, and people go on about how fascinating it is. But it's always the same, just it only happens once a year, so therefore it's got to be fascinating.
Well, sorry, I'm not German, so when I have an opinion, it's filled with emotion and enthusiasm rather than just a robotic sense of pure logic.
It is logic. I'm very sorry.
I don't like logic.
We've passed the 20-hour mark. Yay! Go hours! Count down even further, or up, or one way at least. Make it end. Oh, what the virus, Amcar! Did he hit his teammate? You might have done, but I wouldn't put a bet on it. There was certainly some smoke, and
62 in arm classes in the pit lane, which gifts us the 3rd place in arm for the moment. Oh no, wait, there's a lap between us.
No. You are 3rd in arm, or you're not?
No, there's a lap between us. And on that catastrophic failure, I bid you good morning, because I need to warm up.
Okay. See you later. Bye. Yeah.
So we've got a returned Oscar also.
Indeed, sorry, I was just discussing.
Returned Oscar? You mean someone bought him and put him
back? They said sorry, wanting money back just was not worth it.
And the same thing for Safety Steve, who's back at the camera control.
I unfortunately was having a discussion about a different racing league that I'm involved with, and a few going on.
We had a discussion about WEC, so it doesn't matter.
You had I would have liked to have a discussion about WEC, although me and Steve already did that. Kind of. It's not mine.
Contact right before
the
Oval.
In Bobby House. How did they manage that?
Probably because the Virus Amcar's got a bad luck magnet, given certain.
And Shanida's has got some. I'm pretty sure he's got a repair damage because he's got no camber on right rear tire.
Oh, that's looking ugly.
Look into. Well, you probably can't really see it, but.
No, I see what
when
you mean.
Get an angle from the right side of the view, when you get to see that, you can see how much the
it's flat against
right
the
rear
side
wheel
of the car,
is carved
isn't it?
in, and it actually has positive camber now. That's probably almost insta pit stop there.
Yeah. No, he's going to carry on.
Maybe you didn't notice it yet, that...
Oh, he's also got even more carved in the right front wheel, I've just noticed. Looks very weird, that car.
Yeah, well, he's obviously just sideswiped the wall on the exit there, just flat on the side, and boxed his wheels.
What about
in.
58 damage, though? What about... Well, it's even more deformed than it was, but...
Well, the back damage was there before.
I think the front's a bit more put.
Yeah, the front.
Other than that, it looks just like before.
Dommy, explain to me why the genuine racing car doesn't look beaten up enough.
Because it paired damage.
Well, yeah, that obviously.
Because we care about how our car looks, so we want to present it in a nice and undamaged way on the stream, you know?
Yeah, Schneiders is currently finding out that his damage isn't any fun.
Yeah, he's...
In fact, Hillen's joined, hasn't he? So that's...
Yeah, so that's, yeah, as an insta pit stop. Insta pit stop, insta away suspension, insta put new one in.
Yeah, 50 seconds and brand new car.
I think Audi did a gearbox change once in 10 minutes at Le Mans, and then they banned it. Well, the ACO did, because it was too quick.
Yeah.
What, didn't they make it the rule you couldn't change the case of the gearbox anymore? I think that was normal, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can use it, open it, and change everything within.
But you must keep the case.
Yeah.
So if, say, you start firing, you know, gears or sprockets or whatnot out of the bottom of your gearbox housing, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble, yeah. However, the most metallic bits that have been fired out of other mechanical bits are mainly jet engines lately.
What, just the pistons out the top?
But they weren't that good large in Le Mans, like as Pescarolo discovered.
Yeah, didn't they have
All of
problems almost
I think
immediately?
all of theirs. I think almost all of theirs blew up. That's 6 engines for 2 cars. One of them ate so many up that they had to use the reserve engines from the other car, which meant the other car didn't have any reserve engines.
For when it blew up. Not unlike, say, Peugeot when they blew up all of their cars in the same hour a couple of years ago.
That was 2010, and I think they had apparently, if I'm not wrong, the explanation for that was the conrods failed of all of them.
I'd suggest a redesign.
It was the faulty batch of conrods. According to Peugeot, obviously, it could just as well be
it couldn't
that they
possibly
mucked it
have
up.
been a miscalculation on their part.
No. Just like blocking Audi for 4 or 5 hours. No, that can't be. No.
In all fairness, we all know that Ferrari just hire themselves out to the highest bidding LMP1 team to crash into the other one.
Ferrari?
Yes.
No, just the LMP1 cars always crash into Ferraris. And because the LMP1 teams are the factory teams, they blame it on the GT teams, and then that's the commonly known opinion. That crash,
True.
for example, McNish had, how was that? That GT's fault. That was completely his fault.
Well, I'm a
Alan
Ferrari
McNish
fan,
had
so I don't know why
in
I'm
hour
blaming
1 of a 24-hour race.
I like Ferraris, and I like Ferrari Formula 1 teams, so there.
Back to the jet engines, they also failed in IndyCar massively.
No, barely. I could see it anywhere. They were so competitive.
Not unlike the Lotus engines in IndyCar.
Wait,
those
they were
weren't
formed
engines.
They were good.
There were never any Lotus engines. They're just jet engines with a Lotus badge on them. It's all that all Lotus does, except for building, I don't know, making cars from old canoes and bits of fiberglass, is putting stickers on other cars which aren't theirs, and then owing the teams a lot of money and not giving it to them, and making a lot of people angry, and then looking like a massive bunch of fools in the aftermath. That's what they've done in the past 2 years.
British manufacturers.
It's Morgan have done it properly. They've put their badge on a thing that actually works.
But is
an
made of wood.
LMP2 chassis.
Probably.
Certainly not made for wood. No, that P2 chassis has no bit of wood in it.
No, all their road cars do.
I know.
They're made of old Dorset cottages. It's probably not true, but hey, I'll go with it.
If they are.
What if they're just, removing the homes from people in the British countryside and grinding them down into cars?
What if they're made from glued together floorboards?
Well, you say that in a joking way, but that's actually more probable, as Vires have had an off at turn 10.
The AM one? Or,
yeah, the AM one.
Yeah, the AM one.
Yeah, they've reversed it into a wall again. It looks even more worse for wear.
Now it's even more falling on the rear. Very pointy though, on right side. It's gotta be careful, you could cut yourself on that edge. Oh well, world of real life racing is even more bizarre than this race.
What's more bizarre than this?
Real life race, because there's actually money involved in manufacturers and organizations like the FIA and the ACO and SRO and no longer IMSA and NASCAR and IndyCar.
That's a shame, because I quite liked IMSA.
But NASCAR was IMSA, their competition for us. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
It's just
so now we're going to just put DPs with LMP2s, remove LMP1s from the equation.
It's not going to happen. You know, for some reason there are going to be no P2s.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like they can make the merger as much as they want, but all of the LMP teams are going to go Grandam's bye. That's all that's going to happen.
I think they're going to kill that thing anyway. There's going to be no globally relevant sports car racing in America within the next 3 years.
I don't know why they're changing what they've got, because what they have currently is two very popular and separate series.
Yeah, but the one bought out by... Well, it's not the series that's been bought out, it's the whole of IMSA. They've bought everything. They've bought the whole lot.
Why have they let some rednecks buy something that's actually decent?
Well, because they have no money. If I'm not wrong, the ALMS had to sell Motorsport in the last couple of years. Hence why it got renamed to the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, or whatever it's called now. And I think another track as well, I'm not sure though. But and
don't forget this leasing contract about the naming rights, was yearly in these days. Was no longer a multi-year deal, but yearly.
But the ALMS did great things, but they just ran out of money.
Is ALMS presumably running this year?
Yes, it is, but with P2 cars from the looks of it, because not a single one's ended for the full season.
I wonder why that is.
Not GTs, lots of GTs, some P1s.
Well, that's good, because all anyone really cares about is the GTs in ALMS.
Well, there are going to be lots of T's. There are going to be Corvettes, Ferraris, 997 Porsches, UZ4 GTE, and Aston Martins.
Yay! Presumably because it's a GT3 Aston Martin, GT2 rather. No. Aston Martin is going to have a V8.
It's the V8.
Yeah, and Aston Martin currently spreading their cars all over the Le Mans series,
which is nice.
We've got 4 fat cars in the WTC as well for this year. Hey man.
Well, 4 is at least one more than they had last year.
Yeah, but they're not as bad as they, of course, because they've got 7.
Yeah, but the rate at which they crashed into Audis.
Well, they're not into Audis.
No, they're not. It's Toyotas now.
Oh, they're now crashing into them. And then, oh my god,
next year it's going to be a Porsche. Best
I would love if Porsche crashes into a 991 next year. That would be the best thing ever. What happened? We crashed to ourselves.
back to the actual race that we're watching. Battle for 6th is trying to get underway at the moment between Suninen and Mihaly.
Always put a couple more Nenanens there than there actually were.
Suninen? I think I did it fine.
But the way he stopped was so sudden.
Suninen.
I have. Yeah, definitely a very close battle for 6th place at the moment between Core Pro 2 and Stick Breeding Program Pro. What if I just pronounced the Pro and Program more, then everyone knows that's the Pro car?
No.
And then the AM entry I pronounce Program. Oh, is that too ridiculous?
I don't think this is really working.
Stick Breeding Program team on the Stick Breeding Pro entry.
Pro entry.
Pro entry. Extra Pro.
Super Pro.
Stick Breeding Program Blue Mirrors.
Not sure about that one.
I've not actually had a great number of suggestions on renaming of the core cars.
Oh, we have a puncture, and the AM has a right front puncture.
Who? Oh, Sapola.
They're now coming through the last couple of corners. It's 59. It's your team,
It's
Oscar.
Hydinia.
Oh wait, it's me. Of course.
It's you.
Tyre has rain quit before this ended.
I didn't know I was in the race. Something rage quitting.
Didn't know you were a tyre guy, Oscar. What would your slogan be?
Slogan would be never give up unless you're doing shit, then definitely give up.
Or
Like your team boss or something.
how about Oscar's tires? Last fewer laps than you would ever expect.
Yeah. Black Round Pirelli's only worse.
You could run Paul Henry, I'm pretty sure.
Meanwhile, Virus was in the pit lane.
The one that's actually in second.
Yep.
After 2 car in second, unfortunately we don't have the 1 car in first because there's no.
And currently, Jenna is in third.
Who's lagging like who knows what?
A Stick Breeding Program might now get some help by all the traffic Core Car has. Virus is not really giving room in Virus amateur car. But he has the quadruple slipstream. No, triple slipstream. Maybe a bit. and the breathing problem is through the traffic. Seeing the car right in front of me. Some half a second should be the distance between those two. Entering the 530. The next car ahead. Those two looks like it's a Cola from Green Angus Racing. No, Savage Simsport. Yeah, Savage Simsport. So many green cars on the track. Sunan gets around in the Goody chicane. And Superla cuts it, so the stick breathing problem car is also having no problem at all. Maybe a little. But the gap is increasing, I guess. At least it feels like that. The gap increased to around a second. Yeah, it really looks like the car is now losing contact to... Oh! The session just started. Good news for everyone, we know this race has started. Troy is demanding a drive-through penalty for Deco.
as Decoder just pointed out on the server, the race has just started in the 24-hour race of Kyoto Grand Prix Long.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if you listened to me, Troy was demanding a drive-through penalty for check betting.
I think it's only fair.
Slight contact between him and the last but not least Pro car. He says he was lucky that he didn't spin there. Quoting him from his live stream, livestream.com/AlexO. He's already in the closing stages of his final stint. People are asking if a pit stop is required in this race. Well, no one forces you to go to pit lane. But I think it's better if you want to finish good. Don't you think so, Chris?
Back.
What about 3 hours 30 minutes to go? We give you a rundown of positions. In the lead, still in the lead with over a lap. NX Racing, current driver is Mikko Marilutto. Then there is Virus Racing in second position with Pikkarainen. Genuine Racing in third with Hyman. Fourth, and this could be a potential battle, maybe not. The gap increased past laps. Terra Mind Factory in fourth with Felix Zern. Fifth is Ixion Sim Sports Pro with Otto Tuskinen, sorry. Sixth, Core Racing Pro 2 with Suninen. Then Stick Breeding Program 2, they have been pretty close to the core car, but the core car now pulls away, so the car doesn't have the pace, it seems. Vortex EU with a great comeback in this race, having been dead last in the early stages of the race. Now in 8th position, come drivers Pit Gannon. 9th, Conquest Racing Pro with Tomczyk. Team Rock Racing with Joe Latrello. 11th, Core Racing with Mike Palu. Let's see if he makes a movie out of this race. Then coming to the stick breeding program amateurs. There you can play in the amateur class with Russ, I think, driving. Hellenic Racing Team lost their massive lead they have some 10 hours ago. They are in 13th position. 14th, Green Angus Racing 1 with Shaka, and then the track of fans for me. But it has returned. Then there's your team Oscar with Hydiniak driving in 15th overall, 4th in class. The 16th Savage Sim Sports 1 Cipolla, Conquest Racing Amateurs with Guider, Scuderia Gas Racing with Medinas, Team Virus Amateurs with Dorians, and in 20th Green Angus Racing 2 with Kevin Boy coming. 21st is Savage Sim Sports 2 with Carl Reitzer. Last Lap Motorsports Amateurs with Mayer in 22nd, followed by their pro team with Yantja driving. 24th is ASAX Motorsport with Dr. Top. 25th and last currently is Team 6A Fondo with Vida. Then we also have 2 retirements. Infinity Esports Pro, last driver was Dennis Lind, who parked the car with, at that point, some 88 laps behind the car in front. There have been some connection / management issues, I guess. And then we've got Merida in listed here in 27. He retired, Merida Racing Team retired from a flip of Christoph, and the World Class Lines didn't attend the race.
Still great to see more than 20 hours into a race that this many people are still running.
Yeah, especially no one knew how this would turn out with safety cars and the rule that once you have to shift P or shift S, you're out of the race. I mean, this is quite a premiere.
Car 22 and car 11 have taken collision into the final corner, and I think sure that's for lapping. No, it isn't. It's actually a battle on track, guys.
Oh,
Wow, there's a battle on track.
Bound to be ruined.
Is someone pitting
But they're
together?
both at the end of this hit, so it should be okay. They're both coming together.
Oh,
but Vortex should manage to
then
get a
Vortex is
lead.
gonna jump.
They go. He goes up, shake down the inside of Pitkin. Pitkin defending hard, very, very late. defense and manoeuvre there for Peakman. Oh, Tom sticks to the inside. A little bit of contact there again, side by side, up the sweepers, down into this double sweeper. He's got the inside line this time. I think he's going to get the position. Oh,
contact!
Deliberate contact made, but they get the place.
Very close to both going off. And Tomchik's probably trying everything as far ahead as possible to make up a rapid stop time that he's going to lose.
Vortex in the pit line.
And Conquest. Imagine the Vortex was just in front.
Also, I just saw, which has nothing to do with it, but I just saw Pickeron have a massive lock-up in turn 1. Wonder how, if that's anything good to his tires, and my guess would be no.
I think everybody's guess would be done.
Kevin Loy entering the pit lane, presumably to take another stint.
Vortex go.
Yeah,
Oh, and Taskovich is just going to be behind.
Ooh.
So Tomchik did some good work there.
Urvansu's
slight contact.
Oh. Now who's going to get off the limiter first? It's going to be Urvansu. Slow reactions from Conquest.
that's what you get in the SNR, you can't exit faster than that.
Well, no, if you spool up the turbo, which you obviously do, and you're ramming it off the limiter in first.
And now Columbus takes over the car. Kevin Loy's day is done.
Indeed.
He's probably done it himself.
But I don't think he can actually drive anymore and
No,
physically obey
He
the
can't,
33% rule.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna violate the 33%.
As we can see in his stream, he's not. First action he does is taking some water.
I imagine in this battle between Vortex and Conquest, I'm thinking Conquest might come out on top because Daskovich has been the faster of those two today.
It's gonna be very interesting to see over the last 3 hours and some minutes, 20 of them, in fact. It doesn't look Dashkevich is just gonna let him drive away and then catch up later on. He wants to be in front now.
Daskovich has several lap times, but Urvansu has been the more consistent in the average lap times.
Then Urvansu is also better damage, so...
And he's Samsung.
If I'm not wrong, the Conquest car wasn't one of the fastest down the straight, so it will be interesting to see how they perform there when they get the chance for a draft.
Not unlike right now. Hopeless is the answer.
He was just out of outside of the slipstream.
Well, he's actually got, relatively speaking, quite slow straight line speed, as Tommy says. Oh, and he's made a mistake there. That's way too much curb and grass.
Looks like the compressed car is out of reach currently.
Oh, what? Hi, man. I think he just... I'm not sure whether that was really his fault, but he seemingly just turned around the 21 car.
Yeah, I just flicked back to look at Mihaly recovering from something.
I just saw a massive wave of tires flying everywhere.
Sounds to me like a HRT F1 pit stop.
It's more like the kind of old tire stacks, you know, when they didn't bundle them together yet. And they were just pre-stacked on top of another. They flew around everywhere, but someone drove it.
Well, Daskovic-Giovansu is back underway.
Heidemann just ran into him, unfortunately. I think Mihaly was caught behind Lettoretto on that bean picker, and he'd been blocking him for several laps. I think Mihaly just ran wide and Heidemann just sort of slid up into him. Unfortunate incident.
I don't think it was really his fault. It just ended up, well, being wanted. What happened? Oh God, Lettoretto! No, don't do that.
This is why I said last night that Joe is the craziest person in the team suite. You can see now from his driving.
I mean, now where he's also in for once, and people don't just hear that he's driven.
Daskovic and Giovansu are going to hammer Togs. Yeah, Daskovic has got a better run out of the final corner this time, down the main straight. Here we go.
It's just
switches to the left. Giovansu thinks about defending.
Car's got no top speed whatsoever.
Yeah. Is he just going to run out of top speed? Is Giovansu going to have enough time to cut back? I don't think he is, because he's... Yeah, so job done surely for Daskovic, yep. Oh no, he's left a gap!
Oh my God.
Suddenly gap, so job not done, because Giovansu's going to be right back at him down the run down to turn number 3-4. He is. He goes to the outside. Daskovic doesn't defend the inside line for the kick. He wants the inside line for turn number 4. I think he's a bit too far back to break him there.
Too far.
He's going to try.
He's going
to try. Oh, lovely driving. Juventus goes wide though, and Daskowitz is just going to make it stick. See, Juventus got the quicker car off the turn, but Daskowitz has the inside line for the next corner. Bit of contact that time. Up the hill they go through the sweeping bends toward turn number 9. Juventus think will get the better run again with this XR top speed. He's understeering in the draft, and it looks like job done there for Conquest. Lovely driving into turn 4 from those two though.
Not side by side.
Juventus try and stay as close as he had to. Oh, he's actually gaining through the spoon. Will he be able to keep it on the exit though? That's the important thing for him to get a toe down to the British gate. No, he's running wide.
Just something I noticed over the last couple of hours. Is it that the Axadar has a slight advantage there on the apron? Because the FZRs usually go much narrower around that wall.
Yeah, possibly, yes. Juventus is actually back on him. Is he going to have a dive?
Oh God! Oh God! Why did we do this?
Sorry, I pressed the button there. I think that actually put Daskowitz off because he ran wide into the corner himself, and Juventus got the toe back. So that was good drive from Samson Juventus in the attempt to put Daskowitz off, which he's done. He's going to have the straight line speed and the toe, and he's going to sweep back around the Conquest car. You think Daskowitz moves slightly to the side, doesn't deviate his line. Daskowitz.
I think he's going to try and get it back on the second straight.
Now, role reversal from last time. This time it's Daskowitz who's behind Juventus down to turn number 4.
He's stayed close enough.
Yeah, he has indeed, Dominik. He certainly
Slightly
has.
nicer line. Also.
Flying down, he'll take the inside. Juventus goes to the inside for the kick, and that was a good dummy there from Daskowitz. And he's down the inside. He's got the place back again. Juventus tries to cut back, and he's going to do it.
Juventus is going to do the switchback. There we go. Back through again.
Up the hill they go. This is lovely driving from these two. Absolutely on the edge, but a lot of respect being shown at the same time.
Hope they won't give me a heart attack.
Javansu offline.
Juventus very wide, turn number 9, he's going to get sideways.
He's going to get had.
He's going to try and think about into turn 10. No, he's got nowhere to go. The big arse of the XRR of Juventus letting no width be given for the slightly slimmer bodied FZR there. It's like an American and a European trying to fight into a McDonald's.
I think the FZR's actually better, to be honest.
Okay.
FZR's the Arsene car after all.
He's got the draft.
Oh, surely he's going to be able to outbrake him here. I mean, that's FZR territory braking.
He does. Oh, you're about to staying there though.
Oh no, we've had this situation before in the race. It always ends up this way.
Still going
Still
though.
not over.
Vance, if he's thinking, I think he'll wait until the main straight. He's not thinking, he's going to go for it now.
Oh. To the inside and round again.
Down.
And now the next straight.
Backing off. This is the longest back that so far.
Just absolutely Juventus just will not give up to the slightly quicker at this point. FZR of Conquest Racing. Juventus stays to the inside, to the outside goes Daskowitz. Down toward turn number 1. Surely this time he might have more of a chance. Juventus are going to go down the inside for turn 1, and that would be strange. And this battle is over.
Sorted.
He's been chopped off there, so that's that done.
The first time in the entire battle somebody didn't think about their next move.
Just on the last lap, Javansu was 4 seconds slower than compared to his fastest lap.
What's that?
So what's Daskowitz?
That XRR is actually tracking to the left a little. That wheel's not anywhere near straight when he's going down the straight.
It'd be normal if it was either, I think. Well, they didn't take any chances there. Who cares? It's still 3 hours from the race. If Conquest if Conquest pull away, that's surely going to be their position. Depending on who's going to be next in that car, or if they're going to even make a driver change, because I believe there are some people mad enough to do 3 stints in a row.
I mean, we have had this in the early parts of the race as well.
When I wanted 4 in a row.
Yeah, and Dennis as well, until he timed out. The unlucky birthday kid.
He's probably having a good time now, or maybe not, who knows. Okay, other than that, is there anything of relatively high relevance?
Well,
That's
you can
a
have
great turn.
lapped genuine racing.
But that's not the first time it's happened.
Yeah, it is the first time. So only the top 2 are on the lead lap now.
Oh yeah, but yeah, actually. It'll be very interesting to see how that pans out with the pit stop. Who's going to end up on the lead lap and who not, and why and where, and up, down, left, right, centre. Maybe there are some team going to have a splash and dash at the end.
The Dow was having some off-road actions.
To be honest, since we're now 21 hours in almost, you can actually say there has been a surprisingly small number of timeouts.
Yeah, it looks like the server and of course the driver's connections have been pretty solid.
Yeah, very much so actually. And if, well, I think the top 15 or 6, no, the top 15 cars I think all have not had a time.
You mean in the server?
Yeah, in the server. Of course, some we had multiple ones, but
Thinking of that, I remember a 24-hour race. I think it was the only one I really was around as commentator, the MOE 24-hour race, where we had a GT2 leading in the server because everyone else timed out.
I can't remember that ever happening.
Just server side leading, not in the tracker.
But that's still never come down. Not in MOE.
It was a night stint, so maybe, I don't know.
I remember in 09 and a 24-hour race, the GT2 car finished 3rd overall because of the timeouts.
Is it better? Okay, I'm making things, I guess. Oh, Miko Mariluto having trouble lapping because amateur cars are around.
Oh my god, amateur cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Where did they all come from? They weren't here at the start of the race.
At least you
God,
can see
now
them.
they drive into each other as well. Oh day, oh my days. Come on, guys.
You've got people watching you.
So at the moment, at least, oh, just forgotten what I was gonna say. That's very bad. Damn. Professionalism continues. But I can just mention Core Pro 2 is in the pit, so I'll seem like I actually know what's going on.
By the way, if you missed the start of the race, the first 4 hours of the race are uploaded.
In the first 4 parts.
First 4 parts means 8 hours.
It's the first 8 hours? I mean 8 hours.
8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours.
You can find them on YouTube if you go to youtube.com/lfsndrtv.
8 hours. But yes, you definitely do that. You can also find the stream recordings of several other races, and I think of all the previous GT2, not GT2, GT1 World Series, right?
And also some vintage races.
What races?
So the Kyoto 100 broadcast completely.
Well, just all will be done.
Then the GT2 World Series from South City. The GT1 World Series. GT Amateur League from 2010. Round 1.
Oh dear God.
In very interesting quality because back then everything on multi-BC.
A multi-BC.
Which also got
It's fun
renamed
whenever
meanwhile. Oh yeah, the blue screens of death where we had to commentate on a blue screen. Great memories. But one must say, even that service improved.
We haven't had too many blue screens over this race. Actually, we had a total number of none.
Well, we could say we had a total number of 2 if we count in our tries to get a split screen running.
Oh, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count?
No.
You mean because
I've decided that doesn't count.
Because it was user initiated instead of
No, because
provider.
it was completely unnecessary.
Ah,
When you have leaders being surrounded by lots of AMCARs, that's way more entertaining.
actually, if you look at the tracker, it's pretty sorted. The top 11 are pro cars and the rest are amateur class, with one exception. There is Last But Motorsports on 24. with that pro car.
Not really a pro car, is it? The massive of one pro driver, so it's not a pro car in that respect.
Theoretically, they could have started in green today.
Yeah, but then, yeah. I'd rather have more pro teams than AM teams. At least we have, over the last 21 hours, only had 2 retirements. We've still got 25 runners. Yeah, 25
Correct.
cars in track. And we are now officially past the 21 hour mark by already just 40 seconds, to be honest. The exact rather.
3 hours left in this race.
Only one GT2 race left in this race. Oh, Latriello's into the wall, I think. There was some lag contact with, I think, one of the SPP cars. Yeah, the 21 SPP car just had a massive lag contact with the 06 TRXR. Wow.
That car slightly wounded, though not too heavily.
Actually, I thought it would be absolutely
Destroyed.
smashed in the wall. Seems to have somehow caught it, or not hit it in a too serious way. Wow.
And Laterello goes to the pit lane.
His tyre suggests he's not that far away from the end of his stint, if not the end of his stint. And Tommy Oscar has already joined to take over, so I'm pretty sure that's what he's got to do.
Yeah, he actually joined before the accident happened, so it was the lap where it was planned to happen.
Gave me a shock and a half. I thought that car could possibly be smashing into the wall and maybe even flipping over it.
Really a lag. Well, it was like contact that sort of snapped him round in that way, but Joe should have been miles out of the way as soon as 21 made any kind of move. He just wouldn't move for corners, and yeah, well.
I don't know. For me,
blue
I didn't
flags,
see a
Joe.
contact, but that's maybe because I switched to it. So like, I just saw it happen, and oh god, I thought God knows what's gonna happen.
Didn't hit the wall.
So nothing's left in the booty chicane. After we saw all the chat being covered by some yellow flag messages from there. Villa takes the car over from Dorit. So for most of the teams, there are just some 2 pit stops left in the race. Well, some of them have 3.
Maybe also a few people watching percentages of one sort or another. Hello, Joe.
Joe, blue flags are to be used as to let people through.
What?
That crash you just had, blue flags, you know.
Oh, I don't know why the hell he did that. I was gonna let him by, you know, dude. We're working
He's
with
behind you,
half
the
an
cord,
engine.
for goodness sake.
We're working with half an engine, man. Cars fly by without a draft. Tommy's gonna do the last 3 hours. So anything happened when I was gone, except for me getting passed by 1,000 people?
A very
You had
good
an accident,
transfer.
No, I just called that a very good drift.
You also missed the best battle of the race so far, probably.
I did.
Yes. Doing Conquest and Vortex. That was somewhat entertaining, I would say.
So 2 hours and 52 minutes to go in this live from Kyoto Grand Prix. Long 24-hour race within the New Dimension Racing GT1 World Series, the first 24-hour race done by New Dimension Racing. Normally it's Masters of Endurance to do such things, but there's no Masters of Endurance 24-hour race this year, as the main man, Mr. Ben Keel, is well, he's travelling the world right now, and he's currently in Japan eating strange beef concoctions. So good luck to him and not getting poisoned. Oscar Hardwick says he's eating dog testicles as we speak or
I
something.
think that's the wrong part of Asia.
Shit, sorry, main Korea.
Okay, apparently Oscar's got his facts wrong. That's good then.
I
That's
said
good to
that
know,
one on
Oscar.
stream, they know.
Anyway, so
And actually, you guys do know that Ben is actually at the Kyoto track.
What is your comment to what he said in the
He
thing?
is the one
chat.
waving when we cross the finish line.
I thought he's the guy who throw the tyres at the poles back in the chicane.
Nasty
Yeah,
bastard.
that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Dom's got it right.
He's got quick legs.
It's not a very nice job. It's not a very nice job. You gotta be quick, otherwise you get run over by lots of GT1s.
I'm paying him very well though.
Yeah, it's already the second 24-hour race within this year.
After the dog one, or the desire of patience one, rather.
Yeah,
The dog
much
24-hour race, more like a cycling race.
Into the pit lane, call the third place team.
By the way, that race was won by some interesting in the NGT class by Ed40, a team of teamless drivers more or less. And Terra Mind Factory was winning the LRF class.
Yeah, LRF.
And well, the DLP, I remember many interesting streams from teams with webcams. Among them was Christian Kistner, where you saw that the extra bit of beer had its effect and stuff. Very entertaining.
I think best broadcast of all time was definitely the end of your birthday event. We were just chatting nonsense and we went.
That was, in a way it was great, and in a way it was the most woeful thing in the world ever.
It wasn't supposed to be serious. Racing was terrible.
Oh really, was it, Chris? What, it was a really clean event?
What was the FPM and some
STD.
CVO or something.
STD, and you kept making jokes about STDs.
I was hammered.
No one actually noticed, Chris, really. No one noticed.
Surprisingly, oh.
Yeah, you didn't mention it at all either.
Oh, car puncture. Car with punctured Scuderia gas, I do believe, in 11th place.
The server, and all sorts of damage, so they must have gone into a wall quite hard. Oh god! They just locked their rears there, or did they try to turn it with the handbrake? But they've made it back safely to the pit lane that way around. Okay, Ben Kio's index make everything boring.
He obviously wasn't watching the first 9 hours then.
It was very exciting there. If only it had been a 6-hour race.
Then they would have finished like 12th place or something.
Not 12th place, but probably would have had a very hard time winning.
Using all your skills you found today, Joe, to get the rescue car safely up the hill, are we? We should watch this. Somebody doesn't have a puncture.
I'll be
In
the
a long
first
time since I saw a rescue car on track.
Do you remember that last Motorsports event when they crossed the track and the downward turn
No.
west?
What happened? I think what happened back then. It was, if I'm not wrong, it was the test race for the first GT3 Touring Car Cup season. And Dico Pantola drove into the pit wall, flew through the pit lane, hit one of the rescue cars, and that rescue car just slowly rolled across the track.
Yes, that's what happened, yes. No, they also had was it a rescue car or a safety car that went sort of along the track, sort of up the hills of West Hill, and sort of
Along
coming
the
down
track, and
toward
then
the
was a
track.
safety car period where everyone just stopped and crashed into each other because the safety car just stopped dead in the middle of the track.
Yes.
I remember my driving skills of the safety car. Rolling start for Oliver's car, I was driving the safety car while admining. Not really
Highest.
good. And, well, I noticed later on, oh, this is the green stuff, not the black stuff.
But those
Devil
things
just-
very long ago.
Devil
Yeah,
Woods just
Prix
reminded me
2008.
the ultimate rescue car failure from Jonathan. What's his name? Jonathan Pickard?
Yeah,
Pickard, yeah.
2008 IGTC finale. The very, very bright mind of Jonathan Pickard forgot which way Aston North went and came straight out of the pits at Aston North, you know, the whole sort of pit exit sort of thing with the wall, went right around the wall and careered straight into the path of a car that was actually racing. Back to the race.
I remember when Pekka turned up on TeamSpeak on a Saturday for a Super GT race, and it just went into the race control channel, and nothing happened for like 20 minutes until someone went down there and told him it wasn't the race on that day, and he just left.
Well, I just got told by Jack Atkinson that nothing beats Alice.
But he doesn't know where the left line is.
Yeah.
One of my safety car runs was in a 1GP race where I had to do the safety car and race direct at the same time. Everyone's favorite series in Elvis ever, the 1GP series.
What race was
No,
it?
I don't even remember 1GP or 1GP.
I remember 1GP.
Aston.
Aston.
Wasn't
I
1GP
remember-
where you tried to go without the traction control?
No.
I don't remember.
No, it was with traction control, and even with traction control I spun the car.
OWRL the test race once a couple of years ago where they tried to ban traction control, and well, they're still using it today, so that should tell you a lot about it.
So if you remember ITC, and my idea to bring it back for one weekend of fun, that somebody who's not too far away in this commentary box decided to take over and said, I'll do it, and then he never did it.
I
Who
don't
would that
remember that, so it wasn't me.
Who would that be?
Wasn't me either.
At least I bring back the format to some of my club races I held last year. That's been
Dingo!
Chris, your cold's getting worse.
He wasn't even listening! I said,
No, sorry,
if you remember ITCC, I said I wanted to bring it back for one weekend of fun last year. And then somebody else said that they would do it, and then they never did it, and they still say they'll do it.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
never been done.
Oh,
Who would that be?
eventually. Early 2000.
Early 2009.
You mean
Just
late
gift us-
2000?
Just give the job to SRO. They did anything.
Good news, everybody, the Scirocco has been released.
For which game?
For the...
Assetto Corsa.
no, not Assetto Corsa, for Brick Racing.
Who cares
Some
about
Lego.
that? Duke Nukem forever.
Duke Nukem forever.
That's the worst game in the world ever.
I think
Sadly.
what should really happen is iRacing should try and get a deal for the Volkswagen Sirocco. Just
I think iRacing should just shut down so people play proper Sims.
aren't you a happy bunny that you weren't in it with the racing guys earlier?
I'm not hiding my opinion, I'm saying what I'm thinking.
The
what do you
problem
think
with
is wrong?
iRacing I have currently is that this model seems to spread all over the simulation world.
But what, pay to drive whenever you drive?
Yeah.
And pay for really bad physics that are apparently better, but
Well, what do you
less
mean by
real.
spread all over the simulation world? Like, R-Factor 2 has it in a lesser format, and iRacing has it.
Well, R-Factor 2 doesn't really have it. I
exactly.
mean,
Yes, you gotta-
you've got a lifetime payment you can do.
I thought about getting R-Factor 2, but I forgot. It's worth it. Does anybody actually play it?
Guys,
It's
good
very
news.
much worth it.
Good news. It's not the DC Sandero, but I can look out my window and I start to see daylight. Yay!
My God,
Guess
Dave,
what?
next should be
I
just going
played that
outside.
hours ago. It changed me, went ballistic last Sunday on top
But-
here.
But what I meant with it spreading over the sim racing world, well, in a lesser form that it is included in what is it called, Sim Raceway, and also in a lesser form it is included in this race room experience.
Sim Raceway is the biggest waste of money I've ever come across in my entire life, because it's just R-Factor with mods that cost money.
Well, at this stage, the problem with it is that it's early in its development. The ideas, the concepts, and the backing they've got are better than all of the other sims.
You're not gonna pay 30 quid for a sim that's early in its development. Well, not 30 quid, you're not gonna pay a penny, but you're not gonna pay 30 quid for one car! Or on a sim that's delivered.
But that's
absolutely
the idea
nothing.
is more that you earn the money through doing the competitions, as opposed to
Can't be
actually
arsed
pay your
to
money.
do that.
Then that's your... that's on you.
Rather to R-Factor, that's free. Well, it's not free, but I have it anyway. So.
Yeah,
R-Factor 2
I don't.
is
I
better.
mean, I don't want to be too quick to write off any sims in development or otherwise,
Except for Project Car.
except for Project Cars, because I said sims. Dommy, you obviously weren't listening.
Yeah, sorry.
OMG, after 2 have announced a deal with Marussia.
Wonderful.
Heard.
Moving along. Why Marussia?
I do not know, the cheapest they could get.
I don't know. At least you're gonna be experiencing how much of a pain a car like that is to drive for people like Timo Glock, if you think
Not
Irish.
anymore.
Not anymore.
He got bored.
He got bored, now he's in D10 and either he's gonna be good there or kill his career like all the other F1 drivers.
So I'm going to go with kill his career like all the other F1 drivers, just cause.
I wouldn't be too sure he's in a BMW and they're pumping lots of money into that series.
Well,
No good
BMW
reason.
won last season, didn't they?
Yes.
Very much, they've won everything. They've won teams, drivers and manufacturers.
So that went surprisingly well for a debut season.
No, because they're all in the same car anyway. It's just how much testing
It's just
you
they put
do.
different badges.
No, well,
Actually, there are about 50 construction parts of the car, all the same, across all the DTM Roots cars.
I don't even understand.
but they're not even cars made by those manufacturers because they're all Italian. They're made by a certain company which is now making chassis for the entire planet, called
Except
Dallara.
for Grandin.
Except for what?
Except for Grandin.
And anything decent in sports car racing. Because they can't do that because they're Dallara.
Well, Dallara just want to stick to their F3, because that works.
Oh, no, they're Formula Nippon, they do F3, they do DTM, they do IndyCar, They do
GP2.
everything else in open wheel racing. They do GP2. They did the HRT in 2010. Actually, that was the GP2 car.
Well, no, looking at last year's F3 car, it was just a concept of an F3 car.
Just another F car.
Yeah.
Not gonna get any better of it. It's just more expensive.
They also
just make
do the GP3. They will do the new Formula 4.
Yeah, they're doing that as well. Also, what else are they doing again?
This how is it called? This car on the on one level with the Formula BMW. Because the BMW is the only not Dallara car I can remember in the recent years in Formula racing.
It's not built by BMW either.
It's by Engel.
A French chassis.
Yeah, a French
An engine that's only been.
Our leader's off.
Oh
At
god.
the booth chicane.
Here's Berlito was spun again in the British chicane. Now, what caused that then? He was in the middle of traffic.
He's going to put himself under pressure from only being a lap ahead instead of a lap and a bit
He's
ahead.
only a lap and a sector ahead almost. Also, yeah, he's got no chance to win at all.
Zero possibility of winning.
Yeah, clearly. Oh yeah, Dallara is actually doing some sports car racing. I think they're building the tub, or they're building something related to the Audi R18. Lost 10 seconds then.
Which did I not intelligently earlier suggest would have a V10 engine in, and obviously it's not had for quite a while now.
It has a 2.7 litre V6.
Yes. Which, really, I should just pay more attention to these things.
It had a V12 in the R10, and it went down to a V10 in the R15, and then still maintained that in the R15 plus minus divided times plus minus divided times.
See, that's all it is. I'm just thinking because obviously the R15 was my favourite. I wish they were all that.
But they
That's
changed the
not even
rules
true.
in 2011. They took away most of the power, which teams could somehow regain, but they lost a lot of torque because they had to use much smaller engines.
And don't forget that the new cars had to had to be closed.
Yeah, every really properly new car, I think. Not Evolution models don't have to be, I think. With like the R50 plus minus.
Well, that's definitely a grey zone.
The HPDs aren't the top, and they've got a new car like every year.
Not true.
I gotta say the close top. Nah, the HPD is actually the best looking open top car I've seen since the R8. And the R8 was actually a completely built by the Dallara car. So the Dallara Audi. Not just an Audi.
Well, it's another stream around this race. The stream of Kevin Loy. He's currently watching some Jamie Oliver.
But no, why?
So talking about some motorsport is not really the wrongest thing.
That's better than talking about bleeding Jamie Oliver.
Kevin, why aren't you watching the stream?
We're talking about diesel engines, that's why. By the way, also the Peugeot on the 2011 regulations actually had a V8, so it went one better than the Audi. I still didn't.
That's interesting, actually.
But still didn't win Le Mans. Everything else in ILMC, but didn't win Le Mans. The championship in ILMC, but didn't win Le Mans. And then just pulled out 20 minutes before the season started last year.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, the car was actually at Sebring for testing.
Yeah, they went to Sebring, they got a Sebring for a private test, and then, oh well, the program is no longer viable and we can't pay for it anymore, so, no one cares. And they actually had a hybrid car developed that was there, and it never drove. I'm not gonna
Maybe a
sell it
battle
on
on track, sorry guys, between Seven Sisters 1 and Conquest Amateur. There's 56 and 68.
Indeed.
Chris Wilkinson's thing is right up his chuff.
There we go for a move in that corner.
Seems to be going on not too badly.
That went fast.
It was an interesting weave.
No, Kapal's not getting dropped from there.
I think he's more trying to get the car to the finish line and really
Gonna
fighting.
get the car to finish line a couple of laps in a row now. Adventures! Chicane adventures! Yay!
Oh, there's a car with a puncture on the front straight. Who's that?
That's Major! That 57's got a left front puncture after turn 1, so wow. That's even more good news for LLM Amateur.
Safety car standby and all that, I think.
I think he's getting to the pits. Oh god!
Oh god!
Yep, I suspected he's off, he's off. He's off,
He's got
he's
some
off.
momentum, he's got
People
some
not
momentum,
understand.
he's out of power!
People not understand the concept of punctures creating an inability to turn or brake.
Oh no!
Oh god! Whoa, Dashkevich.
That was rather...
We've had, I think, had this in turn 9 earlier in the race. I think when the TR car had a left rear puncture just where Major is now, and he
that
was
was well
being
done.
overtaken around the outside. That was unbelievable.
Jeff. I think you'll be safe from here.
Be okay from now unless Inex protests him if he jumps the chicane.
What are they called Inex then?
By the way, the reason why Martin Kapal was not able to fight back in the scene earlier is that they actually have an engine damage.
I thought you,
It's not
I thought
engine
you were going to say he
damage.
was moderating some posts.
He hasn't got engine damage, he's just adjusted his BOP mid-race.
And I shall tell you that there is Loycat on the screen of LXL.
Oh god! Oh, he's gonna spin! Oh, he's spun back!
Nicely done.
Punctures are useful for, that's one thing. That off in the turn, whatever that one was really not necessary. You should have seen that one gun, because he wasn't able to turn in the corner previously either.
And he makes it in... down.
Bang there. Not quite on bang on the mark, but
Close enough.
that would do the job. The LFS mechanics aren't really that picky about the car positioning in the pit stall.
I think that's more like mechanics in the SRO sanctioned stuff than in F1 also. Like they have to wait until the car's standing still to get to the car.
just don't understand the way they have endurance pit stops in 1 hour of sprint race. It just makes no sense whatsoever. Could have just as well have four people changing the wheels at once, and they're already there. So that thing of Formula 1 has proven that works as well.
Indeed.
Two hours and 25 minutes left. We are on lap 565. Or on lead lap 565. No one else is on 565. No one lower a minimum.
Yeah, James Peace is now entering lap 564 and he's second. And the gap between Jenna and Factory keeps constant at weighing around one straight long.
Not yet joins at again, and it's probably gonna take over the conquest car. Probably it's probably.
I think he's going to take over 13 after next racing.
I think is what's gonna take over the safety car.
So the fastest man who has been here today is entering the car again.
On his lap, he's gonna be. He's already miles away from that car he was fighting earlier, isn't he? So I'm actually kind of lost a bit. Yeah, he's certainly quite a distance away from the Vortex car that he fought earlier, which was so far clearly the best battle of the race. There we go, not yet in the car now.
So 2 hours and 20 minutes to go of this 24-hour race.
I think I've chosen the server password for this race very wisely, you know. I think everyone who knows it will maybe agree.
Indeed, it's a good place to have it. You missed the S5, do you?
No, not really. There would have been less kerfuffle going on at AS5, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the Masters of Endurance is just stale. It is run by an old man called Ben, so that's not exactly the most inspiring thing about, is it?
I think we should run it at Spa next time.
Spa and iRacing, good idea.
Not iRacing. Get into LFS. Surely there's got to be some way.
Maybe we'll get it at Rockingham.
Yeah.
And then maybe an FR will win a 24-hour race in GT1 class.
At Rockingham, I don't know. Rockingham's like a car track in a way. Certainly got bits up to the next arm, but as a machine. I don't think I'll live in a day where we will see that track in LFS in a publicly available version.
It doesn't look good, does it?
Not really, no. I won't live to the day, or which is more likely, I won't even remember LFS by the time it gets released.
Won't be early 2009, it'll be early 2090.
I think early 2090, yeah, it's probably just been a typo. So after, with 2 hours and 18 minutes to go, after, Krampus just dug out for one of the Green Angus racing cars, so that's a very late and very unfortunate timeout. I think that was the FZR team. But with 2 hours and 18 minutes to go, the top 3 in each class are, or rather top 3 overall. NX Racing, Mikko Meriloto, who is leading James Peast for the virus in the virus car by a whole lap, and Rob Nigel in third for Genuine Racing. And then the top 3 in amateur is Stick Breeding Program and Hellenic Racing Team and Green Angus Racing. Full standings, up-to-date standings, are available on tracker.newdimensionracing.com. Obviously, the LF standings aren't quite that correct anymore after all those timeouts over the last 21 and a bit hours.
Robin Prescott leaves the pit lane after getting the car from Kyoto for the leading the next racing.
Slowly but surely approaching lap 600 within the next hour and a bit. It's a lot of laps this race. It's all day after all. My opinion is way too long still, but I don't know. I'm gonna say the bit from start 2 hour 20 went by incredibly quick. Did not expect that at all. Ever since then it's been a bit harder to chew.
Yeah, definitely. For me, the first 4 hours here of my Sunday stint were very, very fast gone, and now it's a bit like an old chewing gum.
I believe it's almost 2 PM for me. Which means that the race is ending in just over 2 hours. I can't believe it's been up the whole day. And I'm still not completely trashed. That usually doesn't happen, but well, I guess that blabbering on constantly does actually help. Screaming around every 20 minutes as well because someone's done something. Scott is about to enter lap 570. Which is another milestone towards the 24-hour race distance, which is gonna be more than 570 laps.
Yeah. It's going to see more than that. Except for if the world ends now.
Well, again, who's saying it this time?
Just me. No one else.
Oh.
Or what would be S3 was released right now during this race.
Big honest GTA 5 was released, but that's been delayed to September.
Yeah, but I think it would be a problem since no one new could connect.
That would completely kill the master server just to put S3 on everywhere. It's not an R-Factor server.
Yeah, but it would need a restart of the master server, and at the time it's restarting, no one can connect.
But yeah, that's usually more for a server, to be honest. If the server isn't fully booted up or online, you usually can't connect to it. So you have magic skills or cables.
I mean, we've experienced something like that during the 5-year anniversary broadcast.
Like what?
That the master server went down and no one could
Oh, exactly, yeah, now I remember. Well, still wasn't as bad as us not actually putting the stream thingy of TeamSpeak into our channel, and we ended up talking 10 minutes perfectly fine and no one ever heard it.
We actually could have a battle of the win in the amateur class developing because apparently Sting Breeding Program had some issues with their driver changes, and Hardwick Racing only appeared to be 11.5 seconds behind them now.
Yeah, that's something to look at.
Still bussing around.
Indeed they are, very, very competitively. A very good job, I would say, from Hardwick Racing yet again. The FXR experts of the moment, it does appear. They've taken over TDRT's mantle.
taken over PDRT's existence in a way. Haven't seen them for God
Yeah,
knows
they
how
did.
long. The last time I was in the RT car was in IGTC in 2011.
So many dead teams.
PDRT, Tiger Express Motorsports,
First racing.
Oric, Okrana.
Well, you gotta say Oric.
Both starting with a low.
Oric, Okrana wasn't really dead though, because they all joined SK.
Yeah,
But then SK died.
Big thing was the SK Gaming, yeah, and then,
We won memory race because we did one stop left. I'm surprised no one else had that idea in that race. I still can't believe it. Funny thing is, after almost everyone was doing it.
Infinity also had not Infinity. Faculty. No.
Oh,
Faculty. Now I get it. Also one of these multi-gaming clans with a racing department. Actually, that saw a brief reboot with new drivers, but that died as well.
Just kept running away, it got new ones, then those ran away, it got new ones, and then those ran away, and then got fed up.
Yeah, pretty much like that. I remember Nylon was there for a bit.
Ah yes, but that was ages ago.
Yeah.
That was before he was in SK. And he was, I think it was even before he was in the Krana.
Yeah, but he won the ESL Pro Series for Faculty.
Won ESL Pro Series for everyone. Probably even for his neighbours.
Yeah, I mean the winners list was not that big, at least not with different drivers.
Very Red Bull-like, to be honest.
Yeah, then we had Michael winning it once, but that was under S1.
Hey, S1, where you get more grip in a front wheel drive car, the faster you go around the corner. In any car really, not just front wheel drive car. None of these cars I've done for, so it's not that. Before you tell me that I'm an idiot.
And of course, LFS being that big that time that he was on television over here.
Well, I mean, it's always that big deal. Oh my god, iRacing 2WC went $10,000. I somehow think, you know, BMW M6, even if it's 1 year old, it's going to be worth a lot more than $10,000. That's something you could win by driving LFS only 5 years ago. I mean, that's insane. Now you can't win anything.
You can win a sandwich for Deco Jester.
Just another thing I might have to throw away.
Yeah, that's true. There are massive amounts of money involved in the speed somehow.
Somehow.
But, somehow. I remember it being promoted on various game-related websites. For example, when AOL was still something big and not what it is today.
No one even knows what it is anymore.
Yeah, currently no one knows what it is. Back then it was a provider for the internet. Over here in Germany at least. I don't know how it was in other countries, but they had a relatively up-to-date gaming site of their own, and they were reporting constantly around the speed.
Back then they were to report about little speed, you gotta give them that as well.
Yeah, true. I mean, this year is the 10th anniversary of liveforspeed.de.
To the 11th anniversary of LFS.
And yeah, there's I think first ever German community gathering maybe planned. Who knows?
Herd Germans together.
Yeah, Bike is actually trying to set up something as far as I have read it.
Can't believe what my eyes are seeing, or just seeing right now. But
they see that we need to do another break. The final break of the day.
Oh, yes, indeed. But isn't the last part gonna be over 2 hours then, though?
Yeah, but that's no problem.
Bye bye!
Bye!